Today, we're diving into the dark, intense, and sometimes chilling world of DC animated movies. DC's animated universe is known for its rich storytelling, complex characters, and often its darker themes. Whether it's the tragic fall of a hero, the rise of a formidable villain, or the heartbreaking sacrifices, these moments have left a lasting impact on fans. So let's count down the top 10 darkest moments in DC animated movies. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride. 10. Superman's execution in Superman vs. the Elite. 10th on our list is an instance that raises ethical concerns for our beloved Kryptonian. In the movie Superman vs. the Elite, Superman battles a brand new group of anti-heroes who support using drastic methods to fight crime. The darkest part is when Superman seems to be betraying his moral convictions and confronting the Elite with deadly force. Both the audience and the characters in the film were shocked by the extreme ferocity and intensity of his deeds. But it turns out that Superman staged the entire performance to highlight the negative effects of their brutal tactics. This particular scene is noteworthy because it calls into question Superman's fundamental beliefs and makes viewers consider the fine line that separates justice from retaliation. 9. The death of Robin in Batman Under the Red Hood. The terrible and crucial moment in the Batman narrative, which occurs at number 9, is the passing of Jason Todd, the second Robin. One of the most heartbreaking comic book plots is adapted in Batman Under the Red Hood. Jason Todd is mercilessly beaten with a crowbar by the Joker, who then abandons him to perish in an explosion. Bruce Wayne's image of Jason's lifeless body being held by Bruce Wayne is unsettling, and Batman comes too late to help him. This scene not only establishes the seriousness of Batman's fight against crime, but it also prepares the audience for Jason's later rebirth as the vindictive Red Hood. 8. Wonder Woman's nightmare in Wonder Woman Bloodlines. In Wonder Woman Bloodlines, we witness a disturbing vision that Diana experiences. This film explores Wonder Woman's origin and her struggles against formidable foes. The darkest moment comes in the form of a nightmare where Wonder Woman sees her mother, Hippolyta, and the Amazons turned to stone. This haunting vision symbolizes the potential destruction of everything she holds dear. It's a stark reminder of the vulnerability even the mightiest heroes face and the emotional weight of their responsibilities. The imagery and psychological torment make this one of the most unsettling scenes in the DC animated universe. Wonder Woman Bloodlines' nightmare sequence explores Diana's darkest anxieties and goes beyond a terrifying dream. It strikes a deep chord because she fears losing her family, her people, and her home. It also conveys the stresses and responsibilities of her protector and hero persona. This sequence gives Wonder Woman more depth by illuminating the deep vulnerability that lies beneath her bravery and strength. It serves as a potent reminder that, despite their superhuman qualities, heroes are nevertheless vulnerable and full of doubts and concerns. 7. The Apokolips War in Justice League Dark, Apokolips War. Our list wouldn't be complete without mentioning the apocalyptic battle in Justice League Dark, Apokolips War. This movie is a relentless onslaught of grim events, but the darkest moment is arguably the final battle against Darkseid. Heroes are brutally killed or transformed into mindless minions, and the sheer scale of the destruction is overwhelming. The loss of so many beloved characters and the bleakness of the situation push the limits of what we expect in a superhero story. It's a devastating conclusion to the DC animated movie universe, showing the high cost of war and the sacrifices required to save the world. 6. The tragedy of Harley Quinn in Batman Assault on Arkham. The complicated and tragic connection between Harley Quinn and the Joker is shown in Batman Assault on Arkham. When she meets the Joker after he attempts to kill her, it is one of the darkest scenes. Harley's long-standing affection for the Joker comes to light despite all of the mistreatment and deception, setting for a heartbreaking encounter. This scenario demonstrates Harley's psychological suffering and the poisonous nature of their connection. It serves as a harsh reminder of how easily gloom and despair may overcome even the most colorful individuals. 5. Flashpoint Batman's descent in Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox. A parallel universe shown in Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox has everything skewed, including Batman's beginnings. In this universe, after Bruce is slain in the alley, Thomas Wayne, not Bruce, becomes Batman. The saddest part is when Batman's considerably more merciless and vicious alter ego, Thomas Wayne, chooses to give his life in order to repair the chronology. In addition to being physical, his death is symbolic, signifying the demise of hope and the extent a parent will go to make amends for the past. This dark take on the Batman legend is really poignant and disturbing at the same time. 4. The death of Victor Stone's family in Justice League War. In addition to introducing us to the Justice League's beginnings, Justice League War has one of the most tragic scenes in DC animation history. Victor Stone, who will later transform into Cyborg, is trapped in the blast from a Parademon invasion. In an attempt to save him, his father uses cutting-edge technology, turning Victor into a cyborg. The lowest point in this story is when Victor loses his humanity and the mental and physical toll it has on him. A heartbreaking and moving aspect of his Genesis story is the anguish of losing his normal life and turning into a weapon for war. 3. The rise and fall of the Joker in Batman: The Killing Joke. Coming in at number 3 is the adaptation of one of the most infamous Batman stories, The Killing Joke. This movie delves deep into the origins of the Joker, showing his transformation from a failed comedian into the clown prince of crime. The darkest moment, however, is his brutal attack on Barbara Gordon. The Joker shoots her, paralyzing her, and then proceeds to psychologically torture both her and her father, Commissioner Gordon. This scene is harrowing in its cruelty and leaves a lasting scar on the characters and the audience. It's a stark reminder of the Joker's capacity for evil and the enduring impact of his actions. 2. Superman's regicide in Justice League Gods and Monsters. We explore an alternate dimension in Justice League Gods and Monsters, where the Justice League members are far darker versions of one another. In this alternate reality, Superman is the brutally brutal son of General Zod. The saddest scene is when President Amanda Waller is killed by Superman to stop her from attacking the Justice League. This horrifying act of regicide makes viewers wonder about the ethics and morals of these alternative heroes. It's a terrifying portrayal of unbridled power and the extent Superman will go to in order to preserve his idea of peace. Justice League Gods and Monsters questions our ideas of morality and bravery. The choice made by Superman to murder President Waller upends our preconceived notions of what superheroes should be like. It raises important issues on the nature of authority, power, and the moral boundaries of heroes. Superman in his darker form isn't afraid to step beyond boundaries that the classic Superman would never think of. The audience is forced to face unsettling facts about the perils of ultimate authority and the possibility of corruption at this very moment. It's a somber and provocative examination of what occurs when heroes become morally bankrupt. 1. The death of the Flash in Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox. A scene from Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox that symbolizes the ultimate sacrifice comes in first place on our list. Barry Allen, the Flash, discovers in the pivotal battle that reversing his previous actions, which led to the Flashpoint, is the only way to return the timeline to its original state. Reverse Flash, his adversary, confronts him as he hurries to save the world and makes fun of him for his mistakes. Barry's tearful farewell to his mother and his sprint back in time to erase the Flashpoint timeline, essentially sacrificing himself, is the darkest moment in the story. This is the most moving and depressing moment in DC animation history because of his unselfish deed and the emotional weight of saying goodbye to his mother. The ultimate sacrifice, the height of bravery, was displayed by Barry Allen when he chose to give his life in order to repair the timeline. His heartbreaking, heartfelt goodbye to his mother gives his sacrifice a very personal touch. This scene effectively illustrates what it costs to be a hero. It draws attention to the concepts of duty, love, and loss. Barry exemplifies the genuine meaning of heroism and his character by being willing to forfeit his happiness for the sake of others. The darkest and most significant event in DC animation history It is a powerfully affecting scene that strikes a deep chord with the viewer. And there you have it, the top 10 darkest moments in DC animated movies. These moments have pushed the boundaries of storytelling, delving deep into the complexities of heroism, sacrifice, and the human condition. They remind us that even in a world of superpowers and extraordinary abilities, the most profound stories often come from the darkest places. If you enjoyed this countdown, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Let us know in the comments which moments you think are the darkest, or if there are any we missed. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring the hidden treasures of the DC universe.